How do we heal trauma? How do we heal a traumatic experience? We are human beings, and most of us, I believe every one of us, have gone through a traumatic experience. Because we were born. We were born from our mother's womb into this reality with a lot of dense energies. When we were in our mother, we were warm. We got food automatically. Maybe not every one of us was safe. It depends on the mother and the experiences the mother went through when we were in her womb. And some people have gone through maybe intense trauma, and then some people have not. So why? Why does certain people gone through more trauma than others? Is it because of karma? Is it because of spirituality? Is it because of the way we were experiencing life as a child? Why? I don't have an answer for that, but I have a few points on how to heal a traumatic experience, and I want to talk about that now. It's a bit of a heavy subject, right? Trauma isn't something fun. It's not really that we enjoy healing trauma, but it's necessary, and it's all about work. Spiritual work, the spiritual work. And the more we work on ourselves, the lighter we become. The more dense energy we can release, the more we can enjoy life. And there's a lot of people who don't look at their trauma at all, which is kind of sad, in my opinion. It's kind of sad that people don't work with their experiences or their trauma. And I believe there's probably some things that I don't work with either, you know, so I'm not excluding myself in that group. I maybe it depends on what kind of trauma we have gone through and how intense it was and when it happened. There's a lot of talk in the spiritual community about healing childhood traumas, but as adults and as teenagers or as grown-up people or old people, we can also experience traumatic experiences. We can also experience trauma. It's not only about the childhood, it can also be later in life. Here are my few tips on how to heal a traumatic experience. First, seek a professional. Go to therapy. This is probably the most important point, because when we get professional help, it's easier for us to handle the situation, to go through the experience, to heal it, to get advice or practices on what we can do. It's easier to get help from a professional from outside, but not everyone can do it, not everyone wants to do it. So I also have more tips on what you can do yourself. I want to put a very big emphasis on seeking professional help if you have gone through a very horrible experience or a traumatic experience. Point number 2, go back to the experience. Go back to the experience through meditation or maybe through psychedelic substances, especially if it's childhood trauma or trauma that you don't remember. But if you remember the traumatic experience, usually we don't want to do this. Our mind wants to protect us, and we don't want to experience or feel memories of the past because it was hurtful. It hurt us. It hurt us maybe on a soul level, or it hurt our mind or body or peace. But it's nice. It's not nice, but it's healthy to go back to the experience and to see it from a new perspective, to put yourself in the shoes of everyone else around you during that experience, to detach from your own experience, to see it from another perspective. Go back to the experience through meditation or writing down everything that happened. This can be painful, and it's not to experience the pain again, it's to release the pain. Because if we just go back to the traumatic experience and we just relive the experience, that's not going to help us. So we're not going back to the pain, we're going back to letting go of the pain, to release it. Point number 3, forgive yourself and forgive others. Easier said than done, but especially forgiving yourself. I know that a lot of people put pressure on their own self. Like, why didn't I do something else? Or why didn't I react in another way? Or why didn't I react? You know, and then we put all of this blame on ourselves. But you did the best that you could do in that moment. You were maybe acting out in a survival state because you want to overlive the traumatic experience, no matter what kind of experience it is. But it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And then we can maybe put the blame on another person if there was another person involved in the traumatic experience. But that doesn't really help anyway. It's just a blame game. It's not gonna progress. So letting go of blame, how? I can't answer that. It's a personal experience. I don't know how. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. It happened Probably because of a divine intervention. Usually traumatic experiences are a result of a divine intervention in some kind of way. The Tower. Point number 4. Try seeing it from the other person's perspective. I cannot say that, but when we are in this mindset of victim and predator, we're not going to heal anything. We're not going to heal the experience. We're just going to feel sorry about ourselves or feel sorry about the other person. It's not healing anything. Seeing the perspective from the outside, not even from a person's perspective, because we all have this view and then we believe that this is our truth, when in reality the other person or someone else will see the experience in a whole other way. So detaching ourselves from the human experience and seeing it from a higher level will help to heal the experience. Number 5. You are not your trauma. You are not your trauma. It is something that happened to you, but you are not your trauma. You are a human being and you experienced it. I believe that a lot of traumatic experiences can push us into a spiritual awakening to wake us up because of all the pain. We kind of have to, because it's too much pain being in this body, experiencing the memory of the past. Let go. You are not your experiences. You're not even your name or your job. A lot of people, when we ask them, who are you? They usually answer with their name. Who are you? I'm Emily Robin. Well, I'm not really Emily Robin. That's just my human name. I am more than that. I am a spirit living in Emily Robin's life, this lifetime. Next lifetime, maybe I'm a tree or a butterfly or a lion or another human. Human in the future or in the past. You know, what is time? We don't really know. Maybe next lifetime you will wake up in the year 200. We don't know. And we don't even know if there's a past life. But I strongly believe in it because of my fingers. More about that later. Point number 6. Don't see yourself as the victim or the predator. Take responsibility. I kind of talked about that as well, but you're not the victim. You're not a predator. You're a human being and you experienced a very horrible event. A very horrible traumatic event, and healing it is necessary. Take responsibility, and then we can go back kind of to the blame thing, because when we take responsibility over our actions or non-actions or the experience, we can blame ourselves, but it's important to realize that it's not your fault. Number 7. Feelings should be expressed and not buried within you. Let it out, cry, scream, vent. Really letting it out. This can be hard sometimes because it's a lot of pain. Usually traumatic experiences results in a lot of pain or in a lot of sadness. And pain, sometimes it can feel hard to find an outlet with pain. It can be hard to find an outlet to let go of the pain. It can be screaming in your pillow. It can be a rage room. I really want to do a rage room. That would be so cool. It can be go out in the forest and just scream your guts out. Just scream as loud as you can. I really need to do that, actually. I need to scream. But yeah, let go of your emotions. Let them out. Paint it out. Write a song about it. Write a poem about it. Make a YouTube video about trauma. You know, there's a lot of things we can do. You are not alone, and you don't have to do it alone. You are not alone, and you don't have to do it alone. I'm going back to point 1. Seek professional help or go to therapy. We can only do a certain amount of work on ourselves, by ourselves. And then it comes a limit. It will come a limit until when we can't really do it on our own anymore. We kind of have to get a new perspective from an outside person, or we kind of need to get some practices. Seeking professional help can be a bit scary. In the beginning it can be scary to seek professional help because we don't know what's going to happen. Or trusting another person to share your most innest, deepest feelings. It can be scary, but it's not scary. It's just maybe uncomfortable. And sometimes we need to be uncomfortable in order to grow. And yeah, you're not alone. I believe everyone in the world has gone through an experience that was traumatic. I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm making a video about it. You can write it down in the comments. Let it out. Share. Subscribe. I will see you next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working on yourself. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a soul experiencing a human experience. I hope that you heal from whatever traumatic experience you have gone through. I hope I do as well. I hope that we all can live in unity and we all can be in peace and love. Yeah, take care of yourself. You are important.